Deputy National Chief Digital Officer at the Ministry of Digital Transformation, Denyse White, believes that this country needs to modernize its legislative framework to support digitization. Speaking at the 38th annual conference hosted by the Caribbean Association of National Telecommunications Organizations, she noted the archaic legislation currently in place despite the changing technological landscape. She pointed to the Telecommunications Act, the Electronic Transactions Act, and the Data Protection and Privacy Act, all of which were conceptualized and enacted more than a decade ago. Ms. White said this country needs to modernize this package of legislation to push the agenda forward.
2001 for our Telecoms Act, the Data Protection and Privacy 2011. The landscape has changed vastly since then. And we now need to look at modernizing that package of legislation to support what is going on in terms of the developmental approach, in terms of laying the ground for the private sector to be able to provide the services, but also providing the assurance and safety and safeguards for citizens.
She said this is also critical to assure citizens that their data is protected.
And we are looking at the development of a national data strategy that looks at data governance. It looks at open data. It looks at data protection and privacy. So all the facets of data, making sure that we can reuse it responsibly, as well as set the safeguards for citizens' security. Because in doing our consultations for the national plan, one of the consistent themes that has been coming up is that of security. And what are people doing with my data?
Ms. White cautioned about overregulation despite being behind, but said the country must remain in an agile state with regards to legislation.